Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment. Today is April 25th, 2022, and it's Game 2 of a set between the Yankees and the Twins. The Yankees were looking to nasty Nestor Cortez Jr. to keep him in the game and give the offense a chance to get back on track. My recap. Your reactions coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Hey guys, quick story/ad time. Recently, the Yankees had a day game, and so at the last minute, my wife and I decided to go out into the city, and we decided to use the Game Time app and go see a comedy show, and I gotta say, it worked great. I could not believe how easy it was to get tickets right there on my phone. Took about 5 minutes, and that's why I'm excited to have Game Time back as a sponsor for NYY Recaps tonight. If you're looking to catch a Yankees game or any other event, Game Time guarantees the lowest price for last-minute tickets. And right now, if you download the app and use the code NYY Recaps, you'll get $20 off of your first purchase. So why wait? Download Game Time today and start enjoying all your favorite events, hassle-free. Again, use the code NYY Recaps, no spaces, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Lowest price on last-minute tickets, guaranteed. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So here's the deal. I will recap the game tonight because this is NYY Recaps, and that's what I do. But I don't have it in me to rant again. I'm going to quote this guy, Supreme, that says, "I want to complain, but I'm just sad." And that's exactly how I feel. I do feel collectively, as a fan base, we need to blow off some steam tonight. So I'm going to recap the game. I want you guys to take the gloves off. No take is too bad. No take is too extreme. No take will be judged. In fact, I may not even respond unless I agree. But we're going to get as many takes as possible up tonight. This show is about you guys. Blow off some steam. I'll start by posting a couple that I pulled up that I feel like should be mentioned. Damien says this is back-to-back series losses with an ellipses to show that he's unhappy about it. Lori C says, "I am furious," and I am too. Very furious. Trent Woody says, "I want to complain, but I can't think of anything smart to say."
Since when did you get so smart?
You're smart to me, Trent. And Brandy Wine says, "Bring back Chris Carter." I love it. So guys, I want you to take the gloves off. Darth just wants to feel some optimism. Optimists. I got caught up reading Darthius's the end of his name. I just want to feel some optimism, man. Tommy just wants some situational hitting. So we'll go through this. But I'll start with my general feelings. So I don't think that we're at rock bottom. The problem with rock bottom is that you never quite know where it is when you're going through it. You're never quite sure how deep the abyss goes until you explore it. And right now, the Yankees are in a submarine, and it is heading downward. And baby, the pressure is building. Last night was more of a rant, but today it feels like more of a eulogy almost. I mean, team's dead in the water. Hey, real quick, one little optimistic thing. In case you missed it, I talked with Jack Curry today about the 98 Yankees. It was fun. It was insightful. He's a great guy, and you should check it out. I put it up live today at 11 a.m., and it's still out there. So check it out. He's got a book coming out. Should be fun. A couple of quick minor league notes. Jason Dominguez had a good night, multi-hit game, including a home run. Andres Chaparro hit another home run, and Jake Bauers hit another home run. So, at least some guys in the minor leagues are hitting a little bit. Nestor Cortez was on the mound tonight, and one thing I love about Nestor typically is that even when he's not at his nastiest, it always seems like he keeps you in the game and puts up a quality start. And that was pretty much true for the most part tonight. He rarely ever gets knocked out or rocked. Tonight was about as bad as it gets for Nestor. 4 runs. That snapped a streak of 16 consecutive starts with 3 runs allowed or less. So, not what you want. Before the game, Boone said that one thing he wanted the Yankees to do was be a little bit more aggressive, and I agree with that. You can't win a lot of games by just looking for the walk every at-bat. So they were in attack mode. Anthony Volpe didn't waste any time. He swung at the first pitch, almost hit the ball out of the ballpark, caught on the warning track. Judge singled, LeMahieu singled. Yankees got on the board first, and you're thinking, hallelujah, 3 hits in 1 inning. Felt like a miracle. Twins evened things up and then went ahead in the bottom of the 3rd. Another error for Anthony Volpe, followed by a couple of RBI doubles. 3rd straight game with a Volpe error. I'm going to continue to preach growing pains and patience. You know, by this time next year, I think he's going to be an amazing player. He's going to be a star. But the journey is going to be a bumpy one from time to time. Tonight, he looked better at the plate. He had a multi-hit game. He's hitting .211 now, so he's off the interstate by a good margin. But yeah, his defense has been spotty over the last couple of days. But, eventually great players put it all together, and I feel like he's going to be a great player. The Yankees tied it up again in the 5th. Judge hit what should have been a double play, but Solano blew the catch at first base, allowed a run to score. But that was where hope ended. We know the Yankees don't score more than 2 runs most of the time. Bottom 6, deep fly ball to left field. Decent left fielder probably makes the catch. Had a 30% catch probability, but we had Aaron Hicks out there, which meant there was a 0% catch probability. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Buxton followed up with a 2-run home run to give the Twins the lead again, and that knocked Nestor out of the game. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. Not his worst outing, definitely not his best. Didn't seem like he had a good feel for the cutter. Maybe it was the cold weather. I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for him. We needed a dominant start tonight. Just didn't have it in his bag this evening. Tale as old as time. Just cutter out over the plate. And that was that. Ron Marinaccio came in, threw some gas on the fire. 2-run home run from Trevor Larnach. That made it 6-2. And as they say, the rest was history. 3 runs or less in 10 of their last 12 games. And first series loss in forever against the Twins. It is not, in fact, what you want.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Louis Penn, generally pretty optimistic, says for the first time this season he's feeling frustrated. Just keep sending the kids out, Peraza, Cabrera, and Volpe. Appreciate that. Jack Wagner says the 98 team, not built by Cashman. That's 100% correct. That was the product of Stick Michael and Bob Watson. Although Cashman did take over that February, I believe he made the Knobloch move. But he also traded away Mike Lowell for nothing, and Mike Lowell went on to be I don't even know if he's in the Hall of Fame, but if not, he had a great career. Joey says at least the Knicks are doing good. Pasha says, why isn't Don Mattingly the manager of this team?
That is correct.
We were shouting it. We were saying this winter when Donnie was available and Boone was coming off of a bad season, maybe the time was right. And the reason that I thought Donnie would be a great fit, despite having never won, was that he seemed like the right guy at the right time. A guy who wants to win in a situation where you can win with the right push. Got some young players that need that guidance. Donnie was always great with that. And, Joe Torre never won before he came to the Yankees. I remember the newspaper saying Clueless Joe on the headline. And he had been fired a couple of times, but he was the right guy at the right time. And I thought Don Mattingly might have been, a perfect fit. So that's a great take. Kian Patel says, call up Dominguez. I don't care if he's not ready. Let the damn kids play. Good sign that he had a couple of hits tonight. Another monster home run. He got off to a really bad start. 3 for 39. I talked to somebody who is in the know, who watches the games, and said that it was just a timing thing. He was a tick behind the fastball, but we know he can hit a good fastball, good sinker. We saw him rope a 99-mile-an-hour sinker for a base hit in spring training, so he can catch up to that. It was just a matter of, a little bit of timing. Apparently, he's coming out of it right now. So my guess is in a month, we're going to forget about the slow start. He's probably going to be hitting, I don't know, maybe 260, 270 because of the slow start. But I think that when you look at a stretch of games, he's going to only get better. Guy, Yankees Farm, has a great channel, great Instagram. He sent me a graphic that showed Dominguez's progression in the minor leagues. And typically he gets off to very slow starts, adjusts, and then accelerates. And I think that's what we're going to see again this season. Robert Garnsey says, we scored 2. Woohoo. Let's celebrate the victories, my friend. Celebrate the small victories. Samantha enjoyed the Jack Curry interview. I think Jack is great. He's just such a likable guy. He really knows baseball inside and out. And if you haven't read his other books, he's got a book on Jeter, and then he's got a book with David Cohn and Paul O'Neill. And they're all tremendous. I mean, the guy gets into detail that you just don't get from watching the show or watching the pregame show, postgame show, or the game. I mean, he really digs into the nuances. So, yeah. Parkson says, why is Hicks sniffing the field? That's a mystery. George, upset with Judge. He swung at the first pitch 3 times. We mentioned before the recap that Boone wanted his guys to be more aggressive tonight, and I think Judge was kind of leading by example there. He was going up there and trying to hit the first strike that he saw. That was evident to me. And sometimes, being aggressive is the way to go. I used to have a coach that when you were slumping, he would tell people, hit your way out. And I always love that because it's like, don't think about it. Don't, try and change all your mechanics. Be aggressive. And I always thought that being aggressive as a hitter is a great way to go when you're not feeling necessarily great about, what you're doing at the plate. See ball, hit ball. It's very simple, like playing in the backyard. Supreme says Rail Riders won today. AAA all the way. Pasha also wants to know why Cashman got a new contract. Basically because he's friends with Steinbrenner. That's my take. And Louis was also a fan of the Curry interview. Definitely go check that out. Logan, keeping it simple, says Hicks is awful. And Parkson says Hicks looks like a defeated player. Just DFA him already. I put out that video today saying he should retire. There's no way he's going to retire because he's owed $30-something million. That was satire. I was trying to make light of the situation and just have a little fun. This is a podcast, but it's also a YouTube channel. And sometimes you just want to experiment with, making different types of videos just as a way of expressing yourself. And today, that's how I was feeling. I was feeling kind of silly about it. Like, almost like, all hope is lost. It's like when you're freezing to death and you're cracking jokes, guys making jokes as the Titanic sinks beneath them. And I made another Titanic analogy. The thing that's disappointing about this is that it was completely predictable. We knew they didn't have depth. We talked all winter about who they're going to trade to get depth. How are they going to fix the offense? The offense didn't do anything last year against Houston. How are we going to get better offensively? Did nothing, essentially. Just counting on the young guys, which, it has its excitement, but you would have liked one more really good bat. I feel like it kind of reminded me of the captain of the Titanic ignoring the iceberg warnings and just saying, it would be all right. Just speed right on through the ice there. We'll be fine. Ship's unsinkable. What could happen? Alex says the Stanton injury is so crippling. Said he's built like the Anthony Davis of MLB. I'm not really that familiar with Anthony Davis. I don't really follow basketball that much, but I assume he gets injured a lot, and he's incredible shape. That's kind of how Giancarlo is. Great physique. Can't stay healthy. Samantha says Boone needs to shut his face.
I hardly agree.
C. Kastner 5 says Brian Hoke said that the Yankees IL, which is 12 players deep, has a current payroll of $117.8 million. That's more than 13 26-man MLB rosters. So that's more than 13 teams. Holy cow, as Phil Rizzuto would say. That's ridiculous. I hadn't done the math. I think I did see the tweet, but I think I kind of just brushed over it, like numbers. I was in the middle of watching the game and, contemplating whether or not to shut it down and cancel the show tonight and just take a bunch of NyQuil and hope that tomorrow's better. But I decided to, I figure you guys show up for me every night. I'll show up for you guys. Dumpster Dog says, don't overthink, just swing. To me, I think that's the way to do it. And Robert says the Yankees are watching too many strikes go by and swing at balls. Well, that's part of the reason that Aaron Boone wanted the Yankees to be more aggressive. Hit those balls when they're over the plate. But obviously it didn't work for everybody tonight. Alex says, if the boss was still alive, a lot of people would have been fired last week. I feel like a lot of people would have been fired after the 2018 season, let alone the 2019 season. 2020 would have been for sure. And then 21, I feel like Cashman would have fired and rehired these guys just to fire them again. That's what he would do. He'd hire guys, fire them, keep them on the payroll, promote them, move them around, fire them a few more times. He was a good guy, though. Just like firing people. Landon Thompson says, Cashman thought this team was good enough and all that before the Judge contract. I agree with you. I get that sense that he thinks that they're good enough. I don't know why. I don't know what would give him that impression. I don't think they are good enough. Spencer says they call Anthony Davis Day to Davis. I like that. That's clever. I like a good play on words. Aaron says, as much as we're hurting for pitching depth, maybe we can strike a deal with the Cardinals for some bats. They need pitching. We need bats. I don't know who we can give up. I mean, we've got Clark Schmidt making starts. What pitching do we have to give up? I don't know. I don't see that as, I appreciate the hot take, but I don't think it's realistic, unfortunately. Parkson says Rizzo looked at a lot of balls right down the middle. That's true. One thing that managers will do to try and get a team that's been slumping a little bit to start hitting is they'll switch up the lineup. And one thing you saw tonight was that Rizzo was hitting second and Judge was hitting third. Maybe trying to get Rizzo more pitches in front of Judge. James G says a series of poor investments with zero accountability. That's the story. That is the story of Cashman's biography. Agent 366 says another boring game. I agree. This one was difficult. The problem is that when the Yankees get guys on, they start trying to walk and take that perfect pitch and just create these, merry-go-round situations, or they're swinging out of their shoes. It's like, what happened to just hitting a line drive in the gap? What happened to taking what the pitcher gives you and just hitting it hard somewhere? Sehaj Doshi says, didn't get an impact bat in the offseason, and look at the Reynolds deal today. Reynolds signed with the Pirates. It was a pretty team-friendly deal. I can't remember the final number. I think it was like 106 or 108 million, which shocked me because you figured on the open market he'd get at least 120, 150. So I'm surprised he gave him that deal, especially after saying he wanted to be traded. They do have O'Neal Cruz, so you got the makings of a solid core there. I don't know if they have the pitching to get it done. Also says, feels like August all over again. Parkson wants to call up Chaparro and Bowers, both homer today, and DFA Hicks and Cordero. I think the Cordero experiment definitely needs to end soon. He's awful. The swing is humongous right now. I mean, he's swinging over breaking balls. It almost looks like he's intentionally missing it so bad. Joseph says this team is so boring to watch. And I have to say that I agree.
Absolutely, hey.
Brett Doy says 1 through 5 get on and 6 through 9 can't hit. Seems to be the pattern. And Frankie reminding us that we have 138 of these games left.
Game over, man. It's game over.
I gotta get out of here.
It's your boy says the pitching has been great for the Pirates. I haven't watched them that close.
You gotta go.
But if they are, then awesome. I know they won like 7 in a row.
Most impressive.
But I always see the offensive and the defensive highlights. I don't catch much of their pitching. I haven't seen a Pirates game yet this year, so that's my bad. But again, tough night for the Yankees. They drop another one, and it was no fun to watch. So I'll see you after tomorrow's game. We got an afternoon game, and the Yankees will try and avoid the sweep. And until next time.
Hey everybody, if you've made it this far, we thank you. If you'd like to support NYY Recaps, please like and subscribe or pay a visit to our Shopify store for some great Yankees merch.
Yes.
If you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description. But if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, just visit NYYRecaps.shop. If you really want to support NYY Recaps and help keep the show going year after year, join up as a member.
Join us.
It's $5. And members get their names up in lights during each post-game show. We're also on all podcast platforms, Instagram, and Twitch this year. So give us a follow if you use any of those platforms. We're expanding, and we have you to thank for making this such a great community. We'll see you next time.
It is your destiny.
Case closed. Ball game over.
Most impressive.